I spent almost all of my life being overweight and trying almost every diet you can think of. And after years of failing, Jesus was actually the one who helped me to lose 60 pounds in only 3 months and keep it off for good. And today I want to share with you what actually helped me to lose all of that weight in such a short amount of time, and how Jesus helped me to change my eating habits in order to sustain the weight loss long term. I used to have a healthy weight as a kid, but by the end of my childhood and beginning of my adolescence, I started to gain a lot of weight. And at that time, I didn't realize it, but there were some deeper issues behind my weight gain. And it was only later on, at the end of my adolescence, that I had to go through therapy, and I realized that my weight problems were not only physical, but they had some deeper roots into trauma and some very unfortunate things that happened to me when I was younger. But by this time, I was already 17, and by medical standards, I was already obese. And it wasn't until 3 years ago, after almost 10 years of therapy, that God actually met me where I was and helped me to lose 60 pounds in just 3 months, in a way that felt completely supernatural. At that moment, it honestly felt like God was punishing me for my food addiction. Because of my bad food habits and the excess weight, I developed a very painful condition in my stomach. And at this point, I knew that I had to change my eating habits and lose weight, but I just didn't know how. I spent almost my entire life up until then on yo-yo diets. Sometimes I would lose some weight, but only to gain it all back a few weeks later. One day I would restrict myself and count calories, and the next day I would binge eat anything and everything my heart desired. Food was all I could think about all day long. I would have breakfast already thinking of the snack that I would have after that. And I just couldn't seem to let go of these unhealthy habits. But just like it says in the Bible, all things work together for those who love God. And because I was so sick and tired of trying to lose weight by my own means and failing all the time, I decided to ask God to help me. So I cried out to Jesus for help in prayer. And I told him that I did not know what to do anymore and I needed his help. And the first thing that God told me was that if I wanted to lose weight and keep it off for good, I had to do things his way and not my way. So I went to the Bible to search for answers. I wanted to know everything that the Word of God said about food. And as I started to search, I started to get knowledge and understanding. And I started to eat the way that God wanted me to eat, instead of eating the way that I wanted to eat. And it was like a miracle. The pounds started to shed off so quickly that I could almost not believe it. And I also started to go on light walks. These were very short walks that lasted only 15 to 20 minutes. And just by doing that, I lost over 60 pounds in only 3 months. And the stomach condition that the doctors also couldn't figure out just completely disappeared. And I felt like I was a brand new person. It was almost as if I was born again in a different body, except that this was my body all of the time. This was a real body that God has given to me from the beginning. And the enemy stole it, but God restored it. And the best part is that Jesus actually helped me to keep the weight off and lose even more weight since then. It's been 3 years now, and I have been through a pregnancy and postpartum, and I was actually able to lose all the baby weight quickly after, just by doing the same things that God revealed to me through his word. Jesus says, "Come to me, all of those who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And that is so true. Losing weight God's weight was so much easier. And life feels so much lighter now that I see food his way. 60 pounds ago, I had a really hard time doing a lot of things. I couldn't walk a little bit faster without feeling out of breath, and I couldn't step into a clothing store without feeling ashamed of my body. But now I have all the confidence that comes not only from my physical transformation, but also from knowing that I'm doing God's will when it comes to my health and my body. Today, I weigh around 138 pounds, and I'm at a healthy BMI. And I cannot tell you how good it feels. Not only on the outside, but in the inside as well. and I feel healthier than ever before, physically and mentally. I'm not perfect by any means, though. I still have my rough days and I still overeat sometimes. But the great news is that God is always there to pick me up when I fall. So nowadays, I just try to honor God with my food choices. And I try to eat the things that He created for me to eat, not the things that the world tells me that I should eat. And through this process, God taught me that it's not about being perfect, but it's about being consistent and choosing daily to walk by the Spirit and not by the flesh. So if you have something in your life like a bad habit or an addiction that you've been fighting and failing to do on your own, I want to encourage you that there is hope. Just ask Jesus to help you with that. Give that problem to Him and trust that He's working for you. Just do what He says and let Him take care of that problem. Because when I gave Jesus my weight and food struggles, He led me to the results that I could never get by doing it myself. So this was my testimony of how Jesus helped me to lose 60 pounds in 3 months. I hope that this video blessed you and inspired you. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos on this topic. I'll see you in the next one.